Nike SB Paris Dunk, a museum on your feet. A skate shoe became a six-figure asset when it wore fine art. The Nike SB Dunk Low Pro Paris launched in 2002 for the White Dunk Show in Paris, each panel cut from Bernard Buffet prints. No two pairs matched. Rumors say only 150 to 200 exist, which pushed buyers to chase proof of origin, event ties, and known owners. Condition mattered, but the story mattered more. Now, the City Series frame? Paris, alongside London and Tokyo, turned local drops into a global phenomenon. High Snobiety lists the Paris as the cream of the crop, with an average resale at around $19,500, but private money went far higher. Plus, the $19,500 average was quoted in the last 12 months. The Paris could have gone up even more. Hypebeasts reported a proxied sale around £100,000, citing it as the world's most expensive private shoe sale ever, excluding game-worn Jordans or signed shoes. Art licensing and official panels also made fakes harder to spot, so verified pairs traded like assets. With the ceiling set, the market didn't just rise, it hunted controversy. Freddy Krueger, a nightmare for some, a dream for others. Dubbed as the shoe that never officially existed, the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro. Freddy Krueger never hit the shelves. Nike was ordered to destroy all pairs due to legal issues and a cease and desist from New Line Cinema. But a few samples escaped, making them incredibly rare. That left scattered samples and for friends and family-only units with no retail trail. There were only quiet trades and receipts passed between trusted hands. I mean, check out the design. Blood-splattered overlays, brown and red stripes reminiscent of Freddy Krueger's sweater, a metallic silver swoosh nodding to his razor blade gloves, and the distinctly puffy SB tongue. Every cue points to the horror icon. Collectors study provenance like detectives. Early sample tags, box codes, and original owners. Forums record chains of custody, while trusted authenticators flag stitching quirks and packaging tells. Condition rules pricing, with clean pairs regularly around $9,250 and pristine examples going higher in private deals. We hear $30K is the going rate these days. From a canceled concept to a legend, it set up a new kind of lesson in self-reference. If you copped these kicks when they were 10 grand, you were living the dream. But if you missed out, the sudden jump to $30K a pair would have been the stuff of nightmares. What the dunk collage of a craze next came the collage that turned memory into merchandise. The Nike SB Dunk Low Pro, What the Dunk, released October 1st, 2007 at $120, it cut up SB history and stitched it into one pair. Purists called it messy. New fans saw a shortcut into the backstory. Demand spiked anyway. Look closer, and you can read the references by sight. Pigeon nods, shards from the City Series. Supreme elephant prints. Literal pieces from beloved early releases, creating a living archive you could wear. Media framed it as a syllabus for SB history, while limited releases and tight channels kept supply scarce as part of SB's golden era strategy to reinforce heritage and mint instant collectibles. Auction comps and recent averages near $4,893 over the last year show staying power. Population estimates remain low, feeding the chase. And that playbook, heritage, scarcity, teachable design, wasn't limited to Nike either. Half cap, Rowley XLT, from curb to curated, which brings us to a silhouette born on the curb and refined in the shop. Half cap, Rowley XLT, from curb to curated. Skaters cut down Steve Caballero's high tops, and Vans made it official in 1993. The half cab became a mid with that DIY cut baked in. Then came the Rowley XLT era, adding padded tongues, cushioned midsoles, and tougher toe builds. It kept curb roots, but started flirting with premium. Complex's rankings regularly place the half cab at the top. Often the best signature skate shoe ever, maybe the best skate shoe period. And 2 decades on, it's still in production with imitators, but few real competitors. Now the shift to collector bait. Elevated half cab takes showed up in tiger stripe, refined suedes, and hairy textures. Some pairs mixed chocolatey tones with reptile-style scales. Releases tightened, shops got select runs, and drops felt like events. From DIY cut to curated capsule, personality began steering specs, and the next model doubled down on that. Yes, Muska, backpacker swagger meets boom bap. A stash pocket, a chunky profile, bold logos, and that zip pocket tongue mirrored Chad Muska's persona and shift toward basketball-inspired skate shoes. Heavily padded uppers, technical features, and oversized styling was the late 90s incarnate. And it was the very first skate shoes to retail for over $100. Signature deals let riders shape real specs. Suede and nubuck uppers, fat tongues, rubberized toe hits, and colorways echoing tour gear gave it a stage look. Shop walls moved pairs when video parts hit because the shoe felt like part of the set list. Research notes the stash pocket as a defining signal of the period's functional innovation. Complex placed the Muska among the top signature skate shoes of its time, and resale on key colorway spikes when retro chatter returns. Function met persona and created demand, setting up the moment when bulk and controversy would test how far that appetite could go. Osiris D3 2001. The bulky boom. Let's talk about a different kind of bulk. Osiris D3 2001. The bulky boom. The shoe people loved to hate, and still bought. It appeared with an unmistakably oversized silhouette that signaled the era's taste for padding and presence. Beyond that broad red, the specifics are messy and the record's thin, so we'll steer clear of claims that can't be nailed down. What's clear is that it crossed from skate racks to wider closets, sparking debates about performance versus style, and leaving a footprint big enough to be remembered years later. Without verified numbers or documented rollout details, the safest takeaway is simpler. A polarizing shape can move units and linger in memory, even when the fact pattern is foggy. And sometimes, when the narrative is sharper and the data cleaner, that memory turns into measurable value, especially when a local story turns a theme into a hunt. Yellow Lobster. When theme becomes treasure. A shop turned a local joke into a chase, and Boston bought in. The Nike SB Dunk Low Yellow Lobster lived inside a story only concepts could sell. Limited to friends and family of concepts, pairs came dressed with rubber claw bands, checked picnic liner prints, and themed extras that made every kit feel authenticated at first glance. Rollout mechanics did the heavy lifting, bear trap-style packaging, staff checking lists at doors, and security at drops kept supply tight, while F&F exclusivity pushed scarcity to mythic levels. The rarity even nodded to nature. Finding a yellow lobster is said to be 1 in 40 million. These weren't that rare, but they felt close. The research shows an average resale price of $6,845 over the last 12 months, placing it among the most valuable SB collaborations. When theme, region, and restraint align, the market listens, and quieter builds can benefit next. Adidas Fat Skate, the quiet heavyweight. Sometimes the biggest shifts start with a quiet standard bearer. Adidas Busenitz Pro, the quiet heavyweight. Based on the classic Copa Mundial soccer boot, it translated pitch DNA into a skate build that staked Adidas's claim in skate in a major way. The recipe was straightforward. Durable suede uppers, reinforced toe, responsive cup sole, and an extended foldable tongue pulled from Copa heritage. It rode the late 2000s appetite for function-first shoes and became a dependable shop floor pick. Regional colorways and team-led storytelling kept it in rotation without chasing headlines, while steady performance and availability turned it into a long-term anchor for the brand's skate line. Years on, early runs and clean core colorways get attention on resale pages when sizes dry up, not because of hype cycles, but because skaters actually wore them out. That kind of credibility sets a baseline. Then a different lever, celebrity adjacency, can push a skate model into another room entirely. Van Slim Shady, a rap cameo in skate lore. Sometimes the name attached to a shoe shapes the chase in unexpected ways. Van Slim Shady, a rap cameo in skate lore, becomes a different story when you check the facts. There's no verified Vans Eminem collaboration in the research. What is documented are Eminem's Nike and Jordan projects, including Air Force One Shady Records releases from 2004, which show how music ties can tilt demand without a skate context. Music brand tie-ins create hybrid markets. Hip-hop collectors chase the name, sneaker and skate collectors chase the silhouette. Prices ride celebrity gravity. Eminem's Jordan collaborations hitting 5 and 6 figures at auction reset expectations around anything linked to him. With verified pairs, provenance becomes the currency. Who sourced it? Event photos, box labels, and chain of ownership proof. When the paper trail is solid and the symbol is clear, a drop can move from subculture to headline, and sometimes a single neighborhood becomes the stage. NYC Pigeon, when sneakers made the news. A New York bird turned a block into a headline. Jeff Staples' SB Dunklow Pigeon hit read space in 2005 with a tight list and tense lines. The New York Post called it a sneaker riot, pushing a boutique drop onto the front page. Staple later explained he wanted a shoe for New Yorkers by a New Yorker, something Oregon-based Nike executives wouldn't immediately understand. The Pigeon stood for survival and persistence in the city. Design told that story. The gray matched typical New York pigeons, the pink outsole echoed pigeon feet, and a clean white swoosh sat where pigeons often show white on their wings. Puffy tongues and zoom air insoles gave the SB fit skaters wanted, while visibility cues made them recognizable blocks away. Branding cues, heel embroidery, insole details, lace options, box tells helped weed out fakes. Resale rose into steady 5 figures, with recent averages around $11,965. Moments like this show how curb stories meet capital. Scarcity plus story set the price, from art panels to canceled drops and city legends. And one date marks the shift, February 22, 2005, when the Pigeon release signaled sneaker culture's move from subculture to a billion-dollar industry. Which pair would you cop if money was no object? Drop your comment below and keep writing with Let Me Explain, because we're going to follow the paper trail in another video where culture turned headlines into big bucks. Thank you for watching.